أعوذ بالله من الشيطان الرجيم بسم الله الرحمن الرحيم الحمد لله نحمده ونستعينه ونستغفره وأشهد أن لا إله إلا وأن محمدا عبده ورسوله. Assalamu alaikum, my dear friends and family, good people on YouTube. Almost 300 subscribers, alhamdulillah. I thank Allah that many of you are encouraging me and are supporting this work, because this is the work of Allah. This is the work of bringing the message in the book of Allah back to people and to dispel the false imposters and the false ideas that are there to contaminate and to complicate the simple and clean message of Allah. And so wherever you are, and we have many people who have subscribed from all over, in terms of demographics, older people, mature people more, and I would love to see more young people consume or understand or get into this material. So please, if you have youngsters, if you have children, grandchildren, please share these videos with them so that these ideas, because I'm nothing, I'm Anwar, I'm just a random person in the world, but the ideas that I'm promoting come from a powerful text. It comes from the word of Allah, and that is what is important, and I ask you to spread it to your younger family members also. So there's been an absence of a while. Unfortunately, I could not produce a quality video with added effects, with additional resources, etc., because my computer, unfortunately, while I was preparing my last program, I just got the blue screen of death. Maybe I've overworked it for a few weeks, and the blue screen of death struck, and it's under warranty, fortunately, and I took it into the support company, and they have promised me that it will be ready within 10 working days, which means about 2 weeks. And so, inshallah, I'm doing this on my tablet, and the quality, maybe camera is not too bad, but I think there won't be any added effects, because that will just be too difficult for me to get to learn how to do it on the tab. But I have two important matters that I want to discuss that have to be dealt with. And the first is the idea that there is one code because there is one creator. And in short, I will put it up as the title of this video: One God, One Code. Just remember that: one God, one code. And if you look at my translation of the Holy Quran, I replaced the word book, kitab, with code. Because if you look at it could mean both. I'm not rejecting the translation of kitab, but I'm taking the alternative translation, which is code, which is more a translation of maktub, of written, prescribed, kitab. And if you look at the way the word is used often in the holy text, then it definitely would be similarly valid to use the word code in terms of kitab. And so when I say one kitab, we're saying one code and one creator. One God, one code. Now let me take an analogy of science. The world of science, if you've ever paid sort of tangential attention to the development of science in history, in recent history, what you will find is that what has preoccupied the top cosmologists and scientists and physicists and quantum physicists most is the idea of a single theorem. Of a single theorem, or a single formula, or a single equation that encapsulates all of physics, all of astronomy, all of quantum physics and cosmology. And it is the one thing that Einstein is said to have been unsuccessful at, but yet striving towards achieving. And today people have made amazing progress, and scientists are in fact able now to put forward a formula. I think it is not too long. You must look at the work of Michio Kaku on YouTube. And he speaks about the single formula or the single theorem that dominates all other theorems and all other formulas, which is the top, the uppermost summary and statement about the forces, the probabilities, the dynamics, the movements within the universe, ranging from an infinitesimal small level, in other words, a quantum level. And when we speak at a quantum level, we mean a subatomic level, beneath and below the level of the neutron and the proton, going to the level of the quarks and the upper quark and the lower quarks. Those at that level, but also expanding to beyond the atomic, to the cosmic level, to the level of galaxies, and the expansion of the universe, and the cosmic constant lambda at which the universe is constantly expanding. And so scientists have made amazing progress with a single theorem to dominate or to lead or to define or to measure all other theorems. And if you look it up, you'll probably find the progress that they've made. And there can only be one law, there can only be one science. If you go to Mars or go to Jupiter or go to Alpha Centauri, which is our neighboring star, or you go to the galaxy of Andromeda, which is our neighboring galaxy, or not, I don't know if it's I think it's our neighboring galaxy, the galaxy in Andromeda, you will find the same science, the same rules of gravitation, the same constant of expansion, the same properties of the molecule of hydrogen, the hydrogen molecule. You'll find the same features of the proton, the photon, which is the package of energy that you will find the same gamma particles, the same alpha particles. So wherever you go through the cosmos, through the universe, in whatever period in history, will you find the same quantum mechanics, quantum physics, cosmology, physics, science, chemistry, biology, if there is biology in outer planets, and we do believe that there is biology, there is organic life, there is life. وَبَثَّ فِيهِمَا مِنْ كُلِّ دَابَّةٍ, the Quran says, and we have spread throughout the universe of every living creature. So let us take that as a guiding point, that there will be life in the universe out there at some point in one of the billions and billions of galaxies. The point I'm trying to make, my dear friends, is that there is a single theorem, a single science, a single understanding, a single methodology, a single reality that is prevalent and present throughout the length and width of the entire universe. There are no two biologies, two sciences anywhere else. It's all the same. It's all one. Which brings us to our mission here, the holy text, the Holy Quran. You see, we have to maintain that there is only one definitive message from the same creator that created the cosmos, the universe, and determined one set of rules and one code in terms of science and in terms of the laws of that universe, have imposed one set of laws on that universe. We have to affirm, confirm, embrace the idea that that same Lord, that same Creator, that same Sustainer of the universe, the one that created you and me, that same Creator has created a single code for us to live by. Although we are different from the universe, we as human beings are in ways more sophisticated than the universe. And if the mind of man, and by man I mean man/woman, could be examined, it would be more challenging to understand than the universe, than the black holes, than the origins of the universe. Because the mind of man is the final frontier. The mind, your mind and my mind, the way it relates to our voluntary actions and our involuntary actions, the way it relates to the way we relate to other people and to the world, the way our mind functions is something that is beyond science. It is something that is beyond physical examinations, well, at least at this stage. And I do believe there are aspects of the mind and of the soul that would be impenetrable. يَسْأَلُونَكَ عَنِ الرُّوحِ. They ask you pertaining the ruh, وَمَا أُعْتِيتُ مِنَ الْعِلْمِ إِلَّا قَلِيلًا. You know, the Quran speaks about the ruh and the features of the ruh and soul, and then it continues to say in that same verse that we have given man but only a small drop of knowledge pertaining to the subject. And so the subject is something we can speculate somewhat on as far as we are speaking about the ruh. But what we can say is that we have voluntary actions and we have involuntary actions. And it is in that domain that the Quran steps in. It is in that domain, in the domain of human behavior, human actions, human decision making, that the Quran intervenes, that the Prophet ﷺ, where he and all of his colleagues of history, Moses, Jesus, intervene. And they intervene in terms of the voluntary behavior of human beings, which is built on the reflection and the mind of the human being, because our actions are shaped by our beliefs and our state of mind. If you want to change somebody's actions, you need to change their state of mind. And the Quran is a text that is intervening in that very vital process, in the process of reflection and action. The Quran is the book that addresses your thinking and your action. No wonder that the Quran at countless places, and if you've read the Quran, you know, الَّذِينَ آمَنُوا وَعَمِلُوا الصَّالِحَاتِ, those who believe with the right frame of mind, with firm truth, and then couple with that righteous actions. الَّذِينَ آمَنُوا وَعَمِلُوا الصَّالِحَاتِ. The most important concept or pair probably in the Quran, and I think if you look at recurring terms in the Quran, then Iman wa amalu salih, healthy affirmation, healthy beliefs, and healthy practices go together. Those two go together. And so the Quran is an intervention in your frame of mind. It changes your frame of mind. It addresses the way you think about yourself, the way you think about the world. And then in light of such thinking and new reflection, you then reshape your actions, you reshape your goals in life, you reshape your values in life. You reshape your behavior with respect to other people. And that is the function and the purpose of the Quran, of the holy text from Almighty Allah. It is there to institute a unified and a cosmological unified theorem of voluntary and involuntary behavior. The Quran is there to impose, not to impose, to offer a form of human reflection, or a form of a mode of reflection, a mode of thinking, which will create a mode of behavior. Are you with me? So when you've read the Quran, not even the entire Quran, because the Quran is not made to be read like a story. You know, the Quran rejects or rebels against any notion of fable and storytelling. That's why the Quran is scarce, is very thin on stories. The Quran is mostly, yes, it does have stories. There are many stories. In fact, Surah Yusuf is called Ahsanul Qasas, is the best of stories. But stories in the Quran are based in reality. They're not fables. You know, if you think of the fables of the Northmen, or the Vikings, and the fables of the Greeks, and the fables of the Romans, and the myths and legends of Egypt, and the myths and legends of, you know, wherever. We have our own myths and legends in South Africa. You know, we have the myths and legends of this very city, Cape Town, of the great Adamastor. We have the myths and legends of the devil smoking a pipe behind Devil's Peak, and the clouds of Cape Town. The origin of the clouds of Cape Town comes from the devil smoking the pipe behind Devil's Peak. People love their myths and legends, but the Quran is not a book of myths and legends. You will not find one myth and legend in there. All you will find is stories based in truth, or you will find analogies, or comparisons with things in nature. So the idea of a book that is a single code, a single rule for a single humanity, coming from a single creator, is what we need to embrace and adopt. Now, what does it mean in practice? You see, the problem that I'm facing with, and that you with me on this journey are faced with, because I see you, each one of you, as me, as an agent for what we are dealing with here. We are addressing a problem. And I would certainly hope that you, in your own way, are exerting yourselves and making every effort. You know, I've been fortunate to have the opportunity to create this forum here, this YouTube forum and channel. You might have your own means. You might be a little bit more articulate than me. And so this is our dilemma, you and me. This is our dilemma. And I'm going to offer you, I'm going to ask you to join me in this battle. Our dilemma is to convince those who are unknowingly or innocently or ignorantly captured within a mindset that says to them that your religion, your Quran, pertains to your religious life. And when it comes to your secular life, so-called, when it comes to your work life, when it comes to your social life, when it comes to your political life, you need to choose something other than Islam or the Quran. Our job is to get those innocent, lost people back to the original idea that the Quran is not a theorem or a code pertaining to religion, but it is a code pertaining to life, to human life. And by human life, I mean to human reflection and human behavior, because that is human life. Our behavior, our thinking, whether it is individually on our own, or whether it is with people in the work, in social life, in family, That is the arena of the Quran. That is the stage or the platform on which the Quran is relevant or has to be implemented. And it is your job and my job, and inshallah, if Allah gives me the strength and courage and health, I will proceed with this until my death. It is to convince those people that are questioning, why are we speaking about Islam and politics, Islam and economics, Islam and social issues, when there is only the idea of truth, the idea of the Quran, the idea of justice. These are the universal principles which are relevant whether you go to your workplace, political life, family life, married life. The universal principles of justice, love, kindness, mercy, humility, respect of God, those principles are relevant all over. As I've said earlier, you don't find a different gravitational force in the galaxy in Andromeda. You don't find a different lambda constant of expansion somewhere at the outer fringes in a black hole somewhere. No, it's the same science that applies to us here on earth, it applies to you as you are sitting there in your bed or at your desk or wherever. The same science that is pertaining or relevant or enforcing or informing or shaping your reality there, the same science informs the reality on a galaxy 10 million light years away. The same science, the same biology, even the same DNA, even the same DNA code. If you put together DNA structure on another galaxy, it will result in the same biological outcome, the universal code of DNA. And so I'm saying to you that let us abandon the idea that the Quran, the Deen of Islam, our state of Iman, are all subjects or contents of your religion, of your Friday religion, your Sunday religion, or your Saturday religion, and that salah, the thing you do every day, is like you have to take a break from life and do religion. Like I said to you, salah, it's only when you think or conceive of the Quran as a pigeonhole within a bigger wall of pigeonholes. You know, pigeonholes where people put letters in and there's like a whole lot of them. If you decide that your Islam is in pigeonhole number A5 or B6, then you have disregarded the Quran. You have in fact committed the primal or the primary sin, which is the sin of ishraku billah, of sharing God's authority with others. Because what you are then saying, when you are sharing the authority of Allah, which means the Quran, or the authority of Bukhari, or the authority of your boss at work, or the authority of your government, or the authority of your priest, once you have put your priest and your boss at work, or your government, or your local political representative, once you've elevated them to a level of importance and power and status that is on a par with Allah, with the creator of the universe, then you have created the ultimate sin, which is ishraku billah, shirk. And so I am here to fight against shirk, my brothers. That is my mission. That is your mission with me. And I pray to my God, my sustainer, my Lord, for me and for you, that He will give us the guidance, that He will help us. You know, somebody said to me in one of the questions that I don't have a problem with Jews in my Islam. You know, well and good on you. If you don't have a problem with Jews in your Islam, that's fine. But I have a problem with fables and false stories in my Islam, which are coincidentally the same fables and false stories I see in the Bible at times, in the false versions of the Bible. And I see those false stories not in the Quran, I see them in the Hadith. And when I look at the characters, I see those characters being, so it's not me having a problem with Ka'b al-Ahbar. It is Umar who had a problem with Ka'b al-Ahbar. It is people of that time that have a problem with Ka'b al-Ahbar. I'm just reading to you the texts. I don't have a problem with Abu Huraira. I've read to you the texts. It is al-Mu'minin Aisha, the wife of the Prophet, that has a problem with Abu Huraira, according to the texts, the Hadith texts. And so, I don't want this video to be too long. I need to put something out there just to... in summary, one Allah, one code. One God, one code. And that is what we're striving for. When I go to work and I deal justly with my colleagues and I refrain from lying and I am an upholder of what is righteous and just and true and honest, I have performed my salah. Because as I've said, to connect with sincerity, with honesty, with kindness to your work colleagues, and it doesn't matter if they're atheist or if they're Christian or if they're Jewish, or if we connect to our communities. You see, here comes another question before I sign off. The problem that vexes you and me, and vexed me in the past, is if I'm going to be so accommodating of all other people, atheists, whatever, non-believers, whatever they are, it will soften my social identity, and to the point where the risk of assimilation could become a problem. In other words, my kids will not know what is Muslim and what is not Muslim, and then we could be confronted with the problem of assimilation. Let me tell you today that have a porous outer, but have a non-porous and a solid inner, my brothers and sisters. Be strong on the inside. Be strong in your beliefs. Be hard on your principles, but be soft in your dealings with people. So in other words, if you don't drink, if you don't consume alcohol, which is the preferred state that we advance based on the Quran, the preferred state for humanity is a state of sobriety. And if you uphold sobriety from birth to death as your principle, which you draw from the Holy Text, then it doesn't mean you have to act in a way that is demeaning or dismissive of those who do consume alcohol. Because the Quran sets it up as a preferred state, not as a state of supremacy. You see, we should swap our supremacy, the feeling of supremacy, for a feeling of concern and love. So just take that feeling of higher than thee, or higher than thou, or more noble than thou. There are no nobility in Islam or in the Quran. But what we do have is people with greater responsibility. And so when there's a drinking party at work, my suggestion is, instead of absenting yourself because you are too good to be part of that, the better state that I always tell you what I do and what I believe. And then I suggest it, I offer it as an example for you. I don't impose it on you. Then I would attend. I would not cut myself off from people at any point. And whether you have Christian family who eat pork and you are not a consumer of pork, you have to join the table with them and eat your other alternative meal other than pork, rather than say I can't sit by the same table. Because remember what I said is, keep your principles strong, keep your core beliefs strong, keep the Quran strong inside you, but do not harden your attitude with people. your behavior with people, your kindness with people, your decency with people, your connectedness with people. Because that is, you see, when we allow ourselves to be with people, we allow our core principles to spread and to become diffused in society. But when we become arrogant isolationists, as the Wahhabi priests have taught us in the last 50 years here in this part of the world, we refuse to mix with others. We set up an independent republic of Muslims. Then you will never ever play the role of being the guide or the support to your fellow human beings. So let us in summary say that the idea of the Quran is the idea of a single moral code for a single humanity from a single creator, single God, which covers all aspects of the world. Your workplace, your family life, your married life, as well as your devotional to your creator life. And may us all strive to that. Thank you for watching. Wassalamu alaikum wa rahmatullahi wa barakatuh.